Students, this is the part 4 of the first revision tour. Um, Here we are going to see the question answers and filling the blanks, true or false, everything we are going to see. What you have to do is learn all the question answers, that is all the question answers from page number 26 to page number 30. Now we are going to see the exercise answers. The first part is tick the correct option. Question number 1. Name the programming technique that implements programs as an organized collection of interactive objects. Option A, procedure oriented programming. Option B, modular programming. Option C, object oriented programming. Option D, none of this. The answer is option C, object oriented programming. Question number 2. Name the characteristics of object oriented programming that hides the complexity and provides a simple interface. Option A, encapsulation. Option B, polymorphism. Option C, abstraction. Option D, inheritance. The answer is option C, abstraction. Third question, which among the following operator is used to access individual members of an object? Option A, dot. Option B, plus. Option C, minus. Option D, divide. The answer is option A, dot. In your book, it is page number 30. Fourth question, which among the following modifier is used in a class? Option A, public. Option B, default. Option C, both A and B. Option D, none of this. Answer is option C, both A and B. Question number 5, which among the following is a valid class name? So first one, symbol, and there is a gap between symbol and interest, so it is invalid. Space is not allowed in between the words. B, symbol, interest, there is no space between the words, so it is a valid class name. C, it is starting from a number, so it is invalid. And D, special character is in between the words, so it is also invalid. So the answer is B, symbol, interest. Sixth question, which among the following is a valid object name? Then option A, object 1. Option B, one object obj. C, obj space 1. D, obj hashtag 1. So the answer is option A, obj 1. Come to page number 31. Question number 7, which among the following is a valid float literal? 12.36F, 12.36 capital F, then option C 12.36, option D both A and B. So the options A, both A and B are correct. Question number 8, which among the following is a valid octal integer literal? Valid octal integer literal means the literal will starts with the prefixed with 0, and the digits cannot contain above 7. So the first one 0, 1, 7, 8. 8 is there, so it is invalid. B 6, 7, 5. No, 0 is in the beginning, so it is invalid. C is 0, 6, 7, 5. So it is a valid one. And D is 0x675, that is a hexadecimal number. So your answer is option C, 0675. 9. Which among the following is a valid method of initializing? Option A, boolean f is equal to true. Boolean f is equal to capital T, it is true. Boolean f is equal to within single quote, it is written as true. None of this. So the answer is option A, boolean f equal to true. The next one is 10th one, which among the following is not a punctuator? Option A, semicolon. Option B, comma. Option C, colon. Option D, dot. So the answer is option C, colon. Question number 11, Which among the following is not a primitive data type? Option A, int, integer. Option B, float. Option C, string. Option D, character, char. So the answer is option C, string. What is the largest possible value that can be stored in short data type? Option A, 2 raised to 15 minus 1, 2 raised to 31 minus 1, 2 raised to 7 minus 1, and 2 raised to 63 power minus 1. So the answer is 2 power 15 minus 1. So this table is present in page number 12. Okay, go to page number 12, table 1.3. Next, question number 13. If A is of type int, that is integer, and B is the type of float, what would be the resultant of A plus B? If we add an integer number with a floating number or decimal number, we will get the result in the decimal form. So the answer is float. Option A, integer. Option B, float. Option C, double, and option D is short. So the answer is B, float. So the correct option is over. Again, come to page number 31. B part, state whether the following statements are true or false. First one, encapsulation refers to the art of hiding the complexities and giving a simple interface. False. Number 2, procedure-oriented programming follows top-down approach. True. Number 3, Java is an example of object-oriented language. True. Number 4, hiding the complexity and giving a simple interface is called inheritance. False. Number 5, abstraction is same as encapsulation. False. 6, an object is called a class factory. False. Question number 7, a class is an instance of an object. False. Question number 8, a class is a mechanism to implement encapsulation. True. 9th question, data members in a class is used to represent the characteristics of an object. True. 10th, the new operator is used to create an object. True. 11th, it's a rule to have class name beginning with a capital letter. False. True or false is over. Now we move on to the filling the blanks. Page number 31. A dash is a template that finds together data and members together. Answer is class. Second question, the values and attributes of an object is called the dash of an object, state of an object. Come to page number 32. The dash operator is used to access the individual members of a class. Dot. Question number 4. The keyword dash is used to allocate memory space for an object. New. Question number 5. The default and dash access modifier is used with the class. Public. Question number 6. An object is an identity with certain dash and dash characteristics and behavior. Question number 7. The values or attributes of the characteristics of an object are called the dash of an object, state. Question number 8. All the complexities of a program should be dash in such a way so that dash is obtained. Encapsulated abstraction is obtained. Question number 9. Dash allows us to encompass the parent class state and behaviors into its child. Inheritance. Question number 10. Poly means dash and morphism means dash. Poly means many and morphism means forms. Now students, section A is here in your book, page number 32. Answer the following questions. First one is, how are objects implemented in software? Answer is, In a software, the characteristics of an object are represented through data members and behavior is represented through member functions. Question number 2. What is abstractions? Abstraction, how is encapsulation related to it? Answer. Abstraction is a principle of object-oriented programming that hides certain details and only show the essential features of the object. The next one, third question, define encapsulation. Encapsulation is the principle of object-oriented programming that binds together characteristics and behavior of an object into a single unit represented by a class. Question number 4. Define inheritance. Answer. Inheritance is the concept that when a class of object is defined, any subclass that is defined can inherit the definitions of one or more general classes. Next question is question number 5. What is object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming or OOP is a technique of implementing programs which are organized as a co-interactive collection of objects, each of which represents an instance of a class. Next is question number 6. State 3 differences between object-oriented language and procedure-oriented language and object-oriented languages. The answer is in your book, page number 2. Make a tabular column, procedure-oriented programming, object-oriented programming. First point, procedure-oriented programming. A large program is divided into smaller segments or procedures. Object-oriented programming, a program is represented as an object. Second point, procedure-oriented programming, more importance is given to the program rather than the data. Object-oriented programming, more importance is given to the data rather than the program. Object-oriented programming, it follows top-down approach. Procedure-oriented programming, it follows bottom-up approach. Next is question number 7. State the 4 characteristics or the principles of object-oriented programming. Answer. Encapsulation, abstractions, polymorphism and inheritance. Question number 8. What are keywords? Give an example. Answer. A keyword is a reserved word that has a special significance to the compiler and cannot be used anywhere else other than what it is intended for. Example: for, if, else, while, etc. Then question number 9. What are identifiers? Answer. Identifiers are the names of variables, methods, classes, packages and interfaces. Question number 10. What is a literal? Answer. Literal is a constant value that can be assigned to a variable. Next is question number 11. Why an object is called an instance of a class? Answer. An object is called an instance of a class as every object created from a class gets its own instance of the variables defined in the class. Multiple objects can be created from the same class. Question number 12. Write one difference between primitive data type and composite data type. So here 3 differences are there. If they ask one difference, you write one difference. If it is for 2 marks, at least you have to write 3 differences. Okay. Fundamental data type and composite data type. Fundamental data type, these are inbuilt data types provided by the Java language. Composite data type, these are data types created by the user using fundamental or user defined data type or both. So this fundamental data type is, the size of it is fixed. Composite data type, the size of different user defined data type depends upon the size of the individual components of it. Number 3, these data types are available in all parts of a program within a class. Composite data type, these data types are available only as specified by the access specifiers. Now we move on to question number 13. Give one example each of primitive data type and composite data type. Primitive data type: integer, int, short, boolean, characters, char, etc. Composite data types: class, arrays, interface, etc. Next is question number 14. See, state two differences between a class and an object. You have to learn all the differences because sometimes they will ask more points. In your book, page number 5, answer is there. One tabular column, the last of that page number 5. Object and class. First point, object is an instance of a class. Class is a blueprint or template from which objects are created. Object is a real world entity such as pen, laptop, mobile, bed, keyboard, mouse, chair, etc. Class is a group of similar objects. Third point, object is a physical entity. Class is a logical entity. Fourth point, object is created through new keyword mainly. For example, student S1. Student is the object that is created with a new keyword, new student of. Then class is declared using class keyword, example class students. Next one is object is created many times as per requirements. Then class is declared once. Object allocates memory when it is created. Class does not allocate memory when it is created. Next is question number 15. Give one point of difference between unary and binary operator. Unary means 1 and binary means 2. So answer is unary operator works on a single operand and binary operator works on 2 operands. Operands means values. Question number 16. What do you understand by type conversion? Answer: type conversion is the process of converting one primitive data type to another primitive data type. It may be done either implicitly or explicitly. Then question number 17. State the difference between a Boolean literal and a character literal. Answer: a Boolean literal consists of only 2 values, that is true or false. A character literal, on the other hand, is any character enclosed within single quotes. 18. Identify the literal as given below. First one is 0.5, it is double. If you want, you can write it as float also. Number 2, A is in between the single quotes, so it is a character, char. Boolean value false. Number 3 is false. The data type is Boolean. And the character A is enclosed within. Fourth one is the character A is enclosed within double quotes, so it is a string. Next is question number 19. Which two access specifiers is used in a class declaration? Answer: public and default. Question number 20. Why is a class called an object factory? Answer: a class is called an object factory because objects are created from a class. An object is an instance of a class. Question number 21. Evaluate the value of n if the value of p equal to 5 and q equal to 19. So we are going to use the ternary operator here. Int n equal to q minus p greater than p minus q question mark. The first part, if the condition is true, we will take the first part. After the question mark, the first part is true. After the colon, the second part is false. Okay. So the condition is q minus p. Means 19 minus 5 is 14. Greater than p minus q. 5 minus 19 means minus 14. So this one is first condition is greater than the second condition. The condition is true. So we will take the first part. After the, if the condition is true, this is the conditional part. After question mark, if the condition is true, you have to take the value before the colon. If this condition is false, then you have to take the value after the colon. So q minus p. What is the value of q? 19 minus p is 14. So this is the answer because the condition is true. So you have to evaluate this part and it is the answer. So n is equal to 14. Next question is, what is meant by precedence of operators? The answer is, when several operations occur in an expression, each part is evaluated and resolved in a predetermined order called operator precedence. Question number 23. What is operator associativity? Operator associativity is of an operator is a property that determines how operators of the same precedence are grouped in the absence of parentheses. That is, in what order each operator is evaluated when two operators of same precedence appear in an expression. Next is question number 24. State the difference between an accumulator and counter. Answer: accumulator is a variable that is used to add or accumulate a list of items. Counter, on the other hand, is a variable which is used to keep track of the number of times an operation is being performed. Question number 25. What does a class encapsulate? Answer: a class encapsulates characteristics represented by data member and behavior represented by member methods. Next question is, state the Java concept that is implemented through. First one is a superclass and a subclass. Answer is inheritance. Number 2, the act of representing essential features without including background details. Answer is abstraction. Then question number 27. Write a statement in Java that will declare an object SI of the symbol interest class. So the answer is symbol interest, that is the class name SI object. So SI equal to new symbol interest of. Now question number 28, page number 33. See in your book, rewrite the following program after removing the errors, underlining each correction. Okay. So your program class, my class. So there is a space between my and class. So remove that space. That is the error. The next one, open curly braces, that is correct. Int a comma b, that is also correct. Then void initialize of, that is also correct. Then open curly braces, correct. A equal to 5 semicolon, that is correct. Here the semicolon is coming the next line, but in the same line. Okay. A equal to 5 semicolon. Then B equal to 6 semicolon, correct. Then close curly braces. Then void show off, that is also correct. Open curly braces, correct. System dot out dot println of A plus double quote, A plus double quote plus B semicolon, correct, close bracket, correct, static void main of, correct, then open curly braces, my class, there is no space between my and class, my class OB equal to new space, then again this my class, there is no space between my and class, it is together, my class of, okay, my class of semicolon, then OB dot initialize of, that is also correct, then show off dot OB, it is not like that, OB dot show off, then close two curly brackets, that is correct, okay. So these are the corrections in question number 28. Now question number 29, which among the following are invalid class name in Java? State with reasons. First one, compound interest, invalid as a variable name cannot have a blank space, okay, there is no blank space between two words, a variable name cannot have a blank space. Second one, my class, invalid as a variable name cannot begin with a digit. Third one, my class dollar, invalid as a variable name cannot have the special, okay, this is the valid one, dollar symbol is accepted, so no reasons, it is a valid one. Fourth one, my class hash, it is invalid as a variable name cannot have a special character like hash. Then fifth one, my add class, this is also an invalid special characters, invalid as a variable name cannot have the special character like at. Now we move on to the question 30. What is the resultant data type of the following mathematical expression? A plus B into C minus D. First condition is where A is an integer, B is integer and C is float and D is float. If any float value is there, decimal value is there in a calculation, the resultant value is also float. So the first answer is float. Next, B, where A is a float, B is a long and C and D is of integer type, so our answer is also in float. Second, C, where A is a double and B, C and D are in the integer type, so the answer is in double. D, where A is a character and B, C and D are in the integer type, so our answer is integer. Where A, B, C and D are integer type, however the expression is slightly modified as expression, here the expression is like this, here the expression is slightly modified as A plus B into C minus D, the whole divided by 7.0, this is a decimal value, so your answer is in double, okay. So this is question number 30. So now we stop the question answers here, and the next part we are going to continue the remaining questions.